Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. We're looking at Psalm 30. And this psalm David wrote as a dedication to the house of God, or to the temple that he had set up after he had terribly sinned against the Lord by numbering the people. A plague had broken out, and 70,000 people had died. And David put on sackcloth and humbled himself and prayed to the Lord for mercy and grace. And we find in the first verses of this chapter, the Lord lifted him up. The Lord kept him alive. The Lord healed him. I love that. And then we see that David goes from the morning and the darkness to the light of the morning, and he rejoices. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Now we're going to finish up the last verses of this chapter, beginning in verse 6. So he says, "Now in my prosperity I said, I shall never be moved. Lord, by your favor you have made my mountain stand strong. You hid your face, and I was troubled. I cried out to you, O Lord, and to the Lord I made supplication. What profit is there in my blood when I go down to the pit? Will the dust praise you? Will it declare your truth? Hear, O Lord, have mercy on me. Lord, be my helper. You have turned for me my mourning into dancing. You have put off my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness, and to the end that my glory may sing praise to you and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever." Oh, what an awesome psalm. And so what happens, we see here in the middle of this chapter, David says, "Now in my prosperity, I said I shall never be moved." And the word prosperity there means careless ease. It means a carefree self-assurance because things are going so well. Oh, don't you think this is the story of our life? If there's one lesson we need to learn, is that pride brings us low. And that's what David's real problem was. That's what our problem is. And the problem is it resurrects every morning. We wake up, we begin to think, especially when things are going well and it seems God has answered prayer. He has lifted us up. He's put a hedge about us and we are being blessed. His face is shining upon us. But then in our pride we say, "I shall never be moved." We think that we have got somewheres on our own instead of the Lord helping us, and pride brings us low once again. Prosperity without humility will always lead to adversity in our lives. Why? Hebrews chapter 12 tells us, "Whom the Lord loves, he chastens." God's love is upon us when we have to go through a difficult time. Things fall apart. We can't figure it out. We hurt inside. And that's what happened here, David says, and he has to put on sackcloth. But my friend, when he humbles himself and he cries out to the Lord and he makes supplication, he reasons with the Lord and says, "What will it do any good if I go to the pit? I'm just dust and I die. Lord, I can't praise you there. And so, Lord, have mercy on me. Be my helper." Oh, it's a lesson we learn over and over again. Pride takes us down, but humility lifts us up because God resists the proud, James chapter 4, but he gives grace to the humble. And God gives him a new song because you've turned my mourning into dancing. Don't you like that? 7 times in this song and in this psalm, David said, you have bearing witness to the gracious and powerful hand of the Lord to help us in the midst of our trouble and to help on our behalf. So God works in David's life, and David's mourning turns into the morning of joy and gladness, happiness in his life because he has now trusted the Lord. And then I think the very last thing he says, "Oh Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever." You know what he was doing? He realized that the problems and difficulties and adversity that give him the opportunity to trust the Lord and praise the Lord. And actually everything we go through on earth is just preparation for us to give thanks to the Lord forever in heaven. It's just practice. I love that. We're practicing for heaven as we go through the trials of life. Oh, let's remember that. And may the Lord bless you as you meditate on Psalm chapter 30. God bless and have a wonderful, wonderful day.